Hello, I'm Jo from Learn English with Jo, and today's video is going to be a little bit different from my new normal videos. If you're a subscriber to my channel, you may have noticed that I haven't been around quite as much just recently. I've been neglecting YouTube a little bit, and there's a few reasons for that. But the main reason is that I've fallen in love with a place online called Substack. So I'm going to tell you all about it today and explain why I think it's a really good place for English learners like you, and invite you to come and join me over there. But first of all, what I'll do is I'll explain who I think my Substack will be useful for. It's not going to suit everybody. So firstly, it's for upper intermediate to advanced adult learners of English. And it's for people who want to sound more natural, more confident, more expressive when they're using their English, and want to find their identity a little bit in their English. And my Substack is a good place for those of you who are really interested in going a little bit deeper and exploring more thoughtful kind of topics and talking about real life, things like psychology, mental health, the news, identity, communication, and what it means to be human. And I think Substack is perfect for those of you who feel like you've already got a good understanding of English, but want it to feel more like it belongs to you. You want to feel like yourself in the language. Now, before you think to yourself, oh no, not another platform. I've got Instagram, Facebook, X, TikTok, YouTube. We don't need any more platforms. Substack is a little bit different. For me, what I've discovered so far is that Substack is a calmer, more thoughtful and deeper space where you can build a more regular relationship with English. And it's not just video, it's audio, it's articles, there's community there as well. So it's like a multimedia experience. I think online content now moves so incredibly quickly that a lot of it gets lost. We see something, we think, oh, that's useful or that's good, and maybe we'll save it, but we'll never actually go back to it. And across a lot of platforms, content increasingly is short form. I think a video you can watch, in a few seconds. A quote, something quick and easily digestible, but also easily forgotten. Substack gives a different kind of environment. It's a place where you can take your time to read something, listen to something, or watch something. And it's a good place, I think, for building a habit, building this kind of daily, like I say, a relationship with English. And I think this is what quite a lot of English learners really need. Not more pressure and not more endless noise, but a regular, manageable, very human way to stay in contact with English. So what exactly is Substack? Well, if you haven't come across it before, Substack is a platform used by writers, artists, journalists, teachers, coaches, all sorts of creators. And it's a place where people can publish essays, newsletters, audio, video, and also build a community. It's a little bit like a blog and a newsletter and a community all rolled into one. You can read the posts on the website, or you can have them delivered via email. And there's also a Substack app if you'd prefer. Now, I have been on Substack for a while, but it's only in the last 6 months really that I've been exploring how I could use it to deliver content and to create community. And the way that I'm using it at the moment, because it is evolving over time, but is to allocate a theme for every month. So back in March, we looked at the subject of AI. Then in April, we looked at resilience. In May, we looked at the topic of lifelong learning. And now we're in June and we're looking at the subject of creativity. And within these subjects, I'm kind of curating a selection of material, authentic material, real life material, videos, newspaper articles, or podcast episodes, etc., related to this subject, that you can explore and then you can reflect on. I give you a bit of assistance, a bit of guidance in exploring these articles or this material. And then we have the community space where we can come together to discuss it. So it's not just a case of me giving you vocabulary about a particular subject. It's more focused on the material and finding things that I think you might find genuinely interesting. Yes, you will pick up, new vocabulary and new language, but it's done in quite an organic kind of way. You're learning this new language through something that's quite meaningful. So let me tell you about how I structure my Substack. I have 3 tiers. And the first tier is free subscribers. And if you're a free subscriber, you receive a weekly newsletter. And in that newsletter, I will, like I say, curate a variety of material that then you can go and to explore around this month, the particular month's theme. Also, as a free subscriber, you have access to the chat facility where we can discuss this month's theme and have some conversation. Then moving on to my second tier is a premium membership for paid subscribers. And for a small price, you can pay either a monthly subscription fee or an annual subscription fee, which works out a little bit cheaper. And as a paid premium member, you get access to considerably more material and more direct contact with me. So paid subscribers can get access to a Telegram group where we can discuss the month's theme in private, really. And what I like about using Telegram is that we can also use voice notes to do this. So you'll get lots of opportunities to write English, but often I find that people don't get enough opportunity to use their spoken English. So that's why I wanted to offer the Telegram, so that we can talk via voice note, discuss the themes and actually practice using your spoken English. Paid subscribers also are invited to join a regular Zoom group meeting, which is an informal conversation group, again, where we discuss that month's theme, have a chat, get to know each other a little bit better, and so on. Paid subscribers also have access to more content, generally more materials. I create PDFs with things like journaling prompts, that kind of thing. Probably the best thing to do is to have a look at my website and see what's available to paid subscribers to get a full flavour of what a premium membership involves. And then finally, there's the Premium Plus membership. And in that membership, you get everything that you do as a premium member, but you also get 4 one-to-one 45-minute conversation sessions with me. So 4 private sessions with me. So, like I say, the best thing to do is to have a look, maybe sign up as a free subscriber initially, see if you like the kind of thing that I'm offering, and then consider upgrading to a paid subscription. But there's absolutely no pressure. I think what I'll actually do next is share my screen with you and give you a little bit of a guided tour of my Substack here, just to explain what it's about a little bit more, and to give you more of an idea if it might be something that you're interested in. So let me share my screen with you. Okay, so this is where you'll be taken to if you follow the link in the description below. It's basically my Substack homepage where you can find everything, you can navigate. And this is the members area. And this is where it tells you how to become a member. You can click this button and it will give you a choice of tiers that you can join. There's a free membership, annual, monthly, and so on. So you can have a look around here. In this section, it tells you some of the upcoming events on Zoom and lives that I'm doing. Here we've got some of the premium content for paid subscribers. I've clicked on this one, which was a free PDF for paid members on journaling. And then there's another item I made here, which was some speaking prompts with Claude. And this was the kind of free downloads that I provide for paid members. You can download it there. If we go here, we can see the different themes. The most recent theme, creativity. The variety of content that I've provided over the last, since in June. This is lifelong learning. This was last month in May. Lots of different things that we explored. There's articles, videos, audio, and again, downloads for paid subscribers. Here we've got the subject of resilience that we looked up. This is an audio podcast episode that I provided, that I recorded in my voice. Again, back to the creativity theme here. This was one that I did last week, a listening piece on Rupi Kaur. And this is the about page where it tells you all the sort of details about my Substack. And if we go back to the members area here, remember you can go here and choose which subscription you'd like, whether it's a free one or a paid one. So next I want to talk a little bit about why I think Substack works so well for language learning. A lot of online content, English learning content, is quite short, like a 30-second TikTok video, which will teach you a particular expression. Or, I've on Instagram myself, I've created lots of carousels where I'll give lots of different phrasal verbs of talking about a particular subject. And there is value in that. But I think, like I said at the beginning, Substack allows us to go deeper. When you really want to become more articulate in English, you need to spend time with ideas, and you need to listen and read longer pieces, and you need to form opinions in English and respond to material in a personal way. Can you relate to a particular article? Can you criticize a particular article? That kind of thing. And I think this is where you can go from knowing English to training yourself to think in English more. Now, the other thing that I think my Substack, that I'm trying to create, is some sort of context to learning English. You can memorize these random phrases that you come across on social media, but I think the language becomes a lot more memorable when you're experiencing it inside stories. So I don't want to just give you vocabulary about different subjects. I want you to see actively this language working within articles, within videos, within podcasts. And I want you to become more aware of your response to this material. Another way I think that my Substack particularly is useful for language learners is within the paid community. There is space for you to speak English on a daily basis if you want to. On Telegram, if you leave a voice note in our Telegram group every day, I will be responding to it. And similarly, in the Zoom meetings, it's an opportunity to have a chat in English. And a lot of people don't have access to that. I think it's just creating a nice, warm atmosphere where you can use your spoken English and not worry too much about judgment. You can play around with it and use it to talk about interesting topics. Next up, I want to talk a little bit about how to use it. Because if you subscribe to, if you become a free subscriber to my Substack, I don't recommend diving in and trying to read every article that I've written, listen to every audio recording that I've made. I think the themed framework gives you a good way to get started. So if you look at some of the previous month's themes, you could think, resilience, that sounds like an interesting topic, or AI sounds like an interesting topic. I'll dip into there, see what I like. And then I suggest just getting involved with the current month's topic, because that's the live topic. That's what we'll be talking about currently. All as we go through each topic, the materials are archived, so you can still access them. But by having this monthly theme, we're covering new, fresh ideas and new, fresh language on a month-by-month basis. So if after hearing all this, it sounds like the kind of thing that you might be interested in, then I'll provide a link in the description below, and you can subscribe for free, explore the archive, get a feel for the space, and then choose if you want to level up and become a paid subscriber in order to access the Zoom and the Telegram and the other materials. You don't have to decide immediately. You can come and have a look first and see if it looks like your kind of thing. Before I finish, there was just something else that I wanted to say. And it's, I think if you're learning English as an adult, it can feel like a never-ending project. And that in itself can be quite exhausting. But I don't want English to feel like a constant test for you. I want it to feel more like a practice that you enjoy, that's fun, and where maybe you're not just learning language, you're learning new stuff generally. And I want English to feel like a living part of your life, something you can build a relationship with rather than study in books. And most importantly, ultimately, I guess, it's something that you can use to build connections, and you can use to share your ideas and your stories, and ultimately have access to more opportunities, whether that be friendship, work. So that's why I'm so excited about Substack. And that's why I'd love you to come and join me. So click the link below and have a look around. And of course, if you've got any questions, just send me a message. And finally, if you're looking for something more personal, then I also offer one-to-one conversation sessions. I'll put the link to my website in the description below, so you can find out more about that or send me a message. So thank you so much for watching. Normal service on YouTube will be resumed soon. I've got some ideas for some more videos that I'll be making over the next few months. So make sure you subscribe, and I'll look forward to seeing you either here or on Substack soon. Take care. Bye.